Hi, I'm Rich Strom from Romeo, Illinois. After several attempts to contact the director of the Illinois Department of Correction on a serious problem that I'm facing, instead of the director contacting me about my problem, I've been sidestepped in many directions. That's why I've decided to come to YouTube for help from the public. This is my son, Richard Strom. He has a disorder called bipolar, and he's been diagnosed in 6th grade by plenty of physicians. He needs a certain amount of medication to cope with everyday life. Since 6th grade, he's been seeing many different doctors, and now he is in the Department of Corrections. If anybody is interested in finding out information of why he's there, they can go to theweeklyreporter.com to find out why and how come. My son started his journey with the Department of Corrections in Robinson, Illinois, another facility, where he experienced his second epileptic seizure, where he fell off the top bunk of it in his cell and landed on a concrete floor, splitting his head open. The medical staff there, instead of taking him in for x-rays to find out if there was anything going on in his brain, they decided to stitch him up and tell him that he's okay, and they sent him on his way. So up to this date, we still don't know if there's any problems in his brain from the fall. From Robinson, he wound up down in Shawnee Correctional Center, which is in Vienna, Illinois, which is about a 15-hour round trip from Romeoville to Vienna and back for a 2-hour visit. My son started his journey in Shawnee, doing what every inmate does every day, and decided to go to school to get his GED. My son hasn't been in school since 6th grade, so he has very little education, but he took on the challenge of the GED, and he went to classes every day. And he was very proud of his GED. In fact, he received this diploma, making him up to the 2nd level toward his GED, and he was very proud of that. He was getting his medication at 7:30 in the morning before he went to school, and then a decision was made by the health staff there that it was too much for them to get the medication together for the inmates. So they started giving the inmates their medication at 5:30 in the morning, which was very difficult for my son, because at 5:30 in the morning he had to go back to his cell where he would sit for 2.5 hours before he'd go to school. Now my son is on Klonopin and Lamictal, and those are both for his mood swings and his seizure, also for his anxiety, and they also make you drowsy. So he was having very many problems keeping awake at that time because of the time change of the medication, and he was worried about getting a ticket. When you get a ticket, chances are you could wind up in segregation for not going to school. So he called me and was very worried about getting a ticket, and I told him, son, there's nothing we can do about this. I'm proud of you that you tried to get your GED, but it's out of your hands, and go ahead and quit. So my son's attempt to get his education was taken away. So now, as the journey goes forward, the psychiatrist that he was seeing, who was very good at the time, we had him on the proper medication levels, and everything that was working perfect for him, had retired. And enter the picture of the new psychiatrist, Dr. Soberman Coco. This gentleman overseeing the gentleman at the Shawnee Correctional Center for their mental illnesses through Stateville on a television set. So he'd seen my son on November 7th and told my son that he's going to help him cope with his anxiety and his problems, and he started to decrease him off of his medication that he so desperately needs. After finding out about this, I contacted Wexford Health Sources, their mental health division, and started to complain about the practice of this doctor. And as of today, my son has been taken off his very important bipolar medication, and I believe due to retaliation for me bringing these complaints forward to the Department of Corrections and Wexford. The doctor in question here does not seem to want to help my son. He is hampering him by the things that he is doing. And I have tried on numerous occasions to get his medication put back up to where it should be, and I've fallen on deaf ears. That's why I'm reaching out to the families who have loved ones in Illinois who have mental illnesses to contact me with their stories if there's anything happening in their families. And you can do that at the editor of theweeklyreporter.com and send that information. I have placed a call to Governor Quinn's office today, bringing to the attention of him of this Wexford Health Sources, the problems I'm experiencing and what is going on with Wexford. I'm hoping the governor will take a stand against this company and stop them from their practices. And I'm hoping that we can find another healthcare provider who will put patient health in front of profit. Thank you and good night.
I don't know how